Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video I'm gonna show you how to add all kinds of touch controls into Unity. I'm gonna add the joystick so that we can move. Also we can look around when I'm dragging on the screen, and we are going to add these buttons. For example, this one to shoot and this one to jump. I can jump as well. So before we get started, make sure to watch my previous videos about this FPS game. Also make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon, I appreciate that. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. So as you can see, this is our FPS game, which we have created in the previous videos. So if you want to learn how I made this game, you can watch the whole series. The link is under the video description. Anyway, first of all, make sure to switch to Android or iOS. You could go to File, Build Settings, then we can switch to Android or iOS. You just need to select the platform that you need and hit the Switch Platform button. For example, if you don't have the iOS build support, make sure to install it using this button as well. You could also watch one of my videos about building a game to Android in depth. I'm gonna add the link under the video description as well. Anyway, first of all, I'm gonna add the joystick so that we can move. So in this project, I'm moving using the AWSD keys, and we want to add the joystick for mobile. And the easiest way is to download this pack, which is free on the App Store. It's called Joystick Pack. So I'm gonna add the link under the video description. You could download it for free, and it's about 500 kilobytes. Let's go ahead and download it using Open in Unity. And that's going to open up the package manager with this joystick pack. Just hit download. Then let's import it using this import button. Make sure that everything is selected and hit import. And once you have done that, you will see this folder, which is called joystick pack as well. You can go to the example scene. You will notice that the material is purple. That's because I'm using the URP. You could simply fix that by selecting the materials. So here we have a ground material and a player one. Go ahead and select them. Then we can go to edit, then render pipeline. And under here we have the universal render pipeline 1. Go ahead and select upgrade selected materials to URP, then hit proceed. As you can see, we have a simple ball. We can hit play to test the game. So this pack comes with 3 kinds of joysticks. This one is called fixed. As you can see, I can move the ball using this joystick. You could also try this one, for example the dynamic. So if you want to hide the joystick, you could use this one. But I think the fixed one is the best option for our FPS game. And in order to use it, it's very simple. We just need to drag the prefab. So under this folder, we have the prefabs one. As you can see, we have all kind of joysticks. But first of all, let's go back to the level. Then let's drag in the fixed joystick under the canvas. After that, we need to modify our code to take the input from this joystick. So I've created the player movement script. So let's go under the scripts folder, and under the player movement, we can change the input. So recently we've used the old input system to take the horizontal and the vertical inputs. Then we have switched to the new input system using this movement input action. So if you want to learn about the new input system and the old one, make sure to watch my previous video. So we are going to change these lines of code. We are going to read the horizontal and the vertical inputs from the joystick. But first of all, we need to add a reference to it. So let's go up here and create a public. And the type is fixed joystick. And let's call it joystick. Then let's go down here, and instead of using read value x and y, let's go ahead and use the joystick variable. Then dot horizontal to take the horizontal input to move the player left and right. And for the z value, let's use joystick dot vertical. And that's pretty much it. So let's save the script. Then let's go ahead and reference our joystick. Just select the player movement script, which is under the FPS controller. And let's drag in the fixed joystick under this joystick variable. And let's hit play. But as you can see, we didn't have the mouse cursor. That's because we've hid that. So to test the joystick, we need to go to the mouse look script. Here I've used this line of code to hide the mouse cursor. I'm gonna get rid of it. And as you can see, we can move using the joystick, so it's working. Now let's go ahead and add a button so that we can shoot. So the easiest way is to download the standard assets from the asset store, and it's free. But this pack comes with a huge number of assets that you don't need, like cars, airplanes, and so on. That's why I've downloaded this pack. Then I've deleted all of the folders. So you just need the cross-platform input folder, and this one, it's called editor. So make sure to download the pack and delete all of the folders except these. Then let's go ahead and import this folder, which is called standard assets. And once you have done that, you will notice that we have this new tab. It's called mobile input. Make sure to hit enable to enable the mobile inputs. Then let's go ahead and create few buttons. For example, we need a button to shoot and another one to jump. Under the canvas, let's right click UI and let's use a button. I'm gonna call it shoot. Then I'm gonna remove the text. So I'm gonna use a sprite. Let's go ahead and change few settings. For example, let's change the width and the height to 100. You could use Shift Alt to move it to this corner. Then let's move it on the Y. So I'm gonna change it to 200 and the exposition to -20. And I'm gonna use a sprite. For example, let's select this one. Then let's duplicate it using Ctrl D and let's call it a jump. And I'm gonna move it down a bit. So let's change the Y position to 100 and the X position to -120. And I'm gonna use another sprite, for example this one. After that, we need to add a button handler script to these buttons so that we can check if we have pressed these buttons using the cross-platform input manager. So don't worry, just follow the steps. For example, let's focus on the shoot button. Let's go down here and add the button handler script. Basically, we need to give it a name, so we'll use this name later on. For example, let's call it shoot. Then we need to add the event trigger component. Select this add new event type, and we need a pointer down. Select this plus icon, then drag in the shoot button. And from the button handler script, make sure to select set down state. Then we need to add another type, and here we are going to use a pointer up. And the same thing, drag in the button. Then from the button handler script, let's select the set up state. And that's all what we need to set up the button. Now, in order to use it, we need to open up the script where we are checking for the left mouse button, and it's under the player. So recently we've created this gun script, and down here we are using the left mouse button. Let's go ahead and change this using the cross-platform input manager. But first of all, we need to use the cross-platform input namespace. We need to go up here using Unity standard assets dot cross-platform input. Then let's go down here, and instead of using the old input system or the new one, let's use cross-platform input manager dot get button, and here we need to pass in the name. So this is going to return true if we are holding the shoot button, and that's going to call the shoot function. Let's go ahead and save the script, and as you can see, we can use the joystick to move, and if I hit this button, we can shoot. So it's working. Now let's go ahead and add the functionality to the jump button. It's very simple. The same thing, select the button, then add the button handler script. Let's call it jump. Then let's add the event trigger. Once we have done that, we can check if we have pressed the jump button in our script. Let's go ahead and change this line of code. We're going to check if we have pressed the button using the cross-platform input manager. And the same thing, we need to import the namespace Unity standard assets dot cross-platform input. And to check if we have pressed the jump button, we use the cross-platform input manager dot get button, and this time we are going to use get button down, and let's pass in the jump name, and that's pretty much it. So let's save our script, and yeah, now I'm able to move using this joystick. We can shoot and we can jump as well. We just need to modify the mouse look script. For now, I can look around using the mouse. So let's go ahead and open it up. So here we are using the new input system. So let's get rid of these lines of code. And let's use if touchscreen dot current. So this is the new input system. If you are using the old one, you need to use input dot get touch. So it's gonna be a little bit different, but I'm gonna add the equivalent lines of code if you are using the old input system. So let's use touchscreen.current.touches. This is going to return an array of touches. So if we have touches on the screen, using .count is greater than 0. And at the same time, we are moving our finger on the screen. And we can check that using touchscreen.current.touches. And we need to use the first touch. And to check if we are dragging our finger, we can use dot is in progress. In such case, we can access the delta value and assign it to our mouse X and mouse Y value using mouse X equals. Then we need to access the touch using touchscreen.current.touches. And the same thing, we are using the touch at the index 0. And we can access the delta value using dot delta. And make sure to call read value. And we have the X component and the Y component. So we're going to assign the X component of the delta to our mouse X variable. And let's use Ctrl D to duplicate that line of code. And then we can change the mouse Y value to our current touch .delta.readValue.y this time. Now we can save our script and we'll be able to look around by dragging on the screen. So let's go ahead and save it. But it's not gonna work on the editor. So we need to build our game to Android or iOS. That's why we need to go to File, Build Settings, and let's build the game. You could also build and run. So I'm gonna give it a name. For example, let's call it test. Then let's hit save. So it's gonna take a little bit of time when you build it for the first time. So be patient. And once the build is completed successfully, the game will open automatically. That's because I'm using build and run. But if you build the APK file, you can put it on your phone and install the game on your own. So we have the simple main menu. If we hit play, I'm inside the level. As you can see, I can move using the joystick. We can look around when I'm dragging my finger. Also, we can shoot and jump as well. But we have one problem. When I'm moving using the joystick, the camera is rotating. We need to make sure to prevent that. So whenever we are holding a UI element, we don't need to rotate the camera. And that's very simple to implement. In fact, in Unity, we can check if we are holding a UI element like the joystick using the event system namespace. And to fix that, let's go to the script. And before assigning the mouse X and the mouse Y values, we are going to check if we are pressing a UI element. In such case, we need to return. But first of all, let's go up here and use the namespace Unity Engine .event systems. And we can go down here and we can check if event system .current and we have this method. It's called isPointingOver a game object. And here they mean a UI game object. And in these parentheses, we need to pass in the touch ID, which is this touch. So we need to use touchscreen.current.touch at the index 0. Then to access the ID, we can use .touchID and make sure to call the method readValue. And that should be it. So this is going to be true when we are holding a game object. In such case, we need to return. So we can use the return statement. Let's save our script. Then let's build the game again using File, Build Settings, and let's hit Build and Run. I'm gonna save it under my desktop as test.apk file, and let's hit save. So I think that's pretty much it, guys, for this video. If you have any question or comment, make sure to write it under the comment section down below. Also make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I appreciate that, and I will see you in the next one.